you so much for going down memory lane with me. Let me take you back and tell you another courtesy of Bob moment. Sean and I, we were together, we done courtesy of Bob, but individually we done our own courtesy of Bob in our own way, especially Sean. Sean kept the courtesy of Bob. When him and I weren't together, he kept the courtesy of Bob. He kept courtesy of Bob alive, so to speak. Him and his one of his friends, Danny Neal, back in the day. Danny Neal, my cousin John Swisher, of course. As I always say, we called him the Swish Man. He used to call Danny Neal Sugar Bear because Danny had sugar diabetes and had to take insulin shots and whatnot, or pills or whatnot, and he used to call him Sugar Bear. And then later on down the line, he got the nickname Skeletor because he was so bony. He was really skinny and skin and bones, so he got the name Skeletor. Nonetheless, there used to be these pieces of paper that was lay around on the street corners or whatever, whatnot, and it looked like, when you looked at it and glanced at it, it looked like whether it be a $5 or a $20 or $10 dollar bill, and you open it up. On one side, it had the bill, but the numbers parts looked like a real bill, but then it had one side had a picture of Jesus, and on the other side there, it said, "Are you disappointed? God is disappointed at man's sin." And they gave an address of or a number or whatnot to call, or address of a church to go to, or a number to call, and whatnot to repent, if you will. We used to take those monies and or those particular money and things and stick them in there in the stores and whatnot. Watch people bend down to pick it up and get real PO'd because it wasn't actually real money. But the courtesy of Bob moment that comes into play here in this situation is Sugar Bear, Skeletor, Danny Neal, if you will, and Sean. And it went to the White Rose Laundromat over behind Watsy's there on Tremont, over on Tremont Avenue. I'm not quite sure what the back street there was that White Rose Laundromat was, but it was off of Tremont there behind Watsy's, if you will. Sean and Danny Neal would take those in and they'd put it into the coin return, if you will. Back then, it was one of those older coin returns there, not like the ones now where you got to slip the dollar in straight ways. You would stick the dollar in, and then it would push itself in, and it would go in, and they used to get 4 quarters out of that. They're disappointed. God's disappointed man's sin. But in Sean's thing, it was disappointed. Not at all. Courtesy of Bob gives me 4 quarters. Paper gives me 4 quarters. Funny time. Only the time that courtesy of Bob could provide. Paper gives you 4 quarters. So many courtesy of Bob moments to come, people. But thank you so much for going down memory lane with me. I'll catch you next time.